YouTube friends. This is Richard Mabey with Richard Mabey Presents. Kind of another laid-back chat kind of episode. With the price of gasoline, it's tough to go out and check out either the villages or the different towns around the villages, or the back roads of the back roads and that kind of thing. Gas is just so expensive right now. So I'm doing these little chats, and they're kind of fun. I made some updates on my top shelf of my bookcase, and I figured I'd share that. Why not, So without further ado, here are the updates for my top shelf of my bookcase. Dun, da, 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 bum, 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 bum. So, YouTube friends, I've made some updates on my top shelf of my bookcase. I've added my old Boy Scout neckerchief slide that I carved out when I was 11 years old, and I had shown this neckerchief slide on an earlier YouTube episode, but the only thing I kind of regret is the nose kind of got chipped off. But I was 11. I'm 68 now, so I made this 57 years ago, and little Opie is calling me. Be right back. And I'm back. So I have my Eagle Scout mug with the gold brim, and there's my Eagle Scout certificate, and let's see, it's hard to here, signed by President Nixon, Irving Feist, President of Boy Scouts of America, and Alan Barber, who was a high commissioner or something of scouting. There's the official gold seal, and that's actually a three-dimensional kind of thing. It's actually a seal. So my light in the background, trying to not get that reflection. There it is. So Richard J. Mabey Jr., Troop 170, Lincoln Park, New Jersey, Eagle Scout. So I'm rather proud of that. Came hard earned. And there's my other Eagle Scout mug. This is a very specific Eagle Scout mug, Morris, Sussex area Eagle Scout. So I have two Eagle Scout mugs. The generic one, the general one, with the gold brim on top, and then the very specific Morris, Sussex Area Council Eagle Scout mug. So let me get there's the overview there. My old neckerchief slide, and my two Eagle Scout mugs, and my Eagle Scout Award certificate. So that's the update on the top shelf of my bookcase. So I'm back, and had the old Lincoln Park sweatshirt on. Kind of homesick. Just a tad homesick. So I figured I'd talk about my Eagle Scout, and it was hard earned. And I think I mentioned before, when I was 12 years old, I had rheumatic fever. And for 1 year of my life, my feet never touched the ground. And I was in and out of the hospital 3 or 4 times for long. What they did is they just, back in the mid 1960s, they would just, if you had rheumatic fever, they would just pump you with penicillin. So you'd go in the hospital and do intravenous penicillin and just give you penicillin 24/7. I mean, so it was beyond being able to take penicillin tablets, and but afterward, I missed all of 7th grade, and I had to take some tests and that kind of thing, and I passed. So in 8th grade was tough for me, and then I was almost like a lap behind my fellow scouts. I think I was, when I got rheumatic fever, I was a first class scout. And then, like, when I was 13, I was still a first class scout. And my buddies were Star Scouts and Life Scouts because they had that year ahead of me to get the merit badges and that kind of thing. So I was kind of a lap behind, a year behind. But then I found it really tough. 3 specific merit badges: personal fitness, physical fitness merit badge, swim merit badge, and life-saving merit badge. So I won't mention the counselor's name, but they did the swimming merit badge in Boonton Township. They had this setup of a dockside along the Rockaway River. And to make things tougher, they did the merit badge in the evening. So it was after supper. How dumb was that? So, and the river was cold. Even though it was summertime, the river was cold. And it had a pretty good stream to it, a pretty good flow to it, pretty good current, strong current. So they would have you swim downstream, which was a cinch, but then swim upstream, for all these different requirements. So at any rate, the merit badge counselor, I won't mention his name, was rather unkind. That's putting it mildly. He was rude. So I had been going to the classes for about 3 weeks for the swimming merit badge, and one day he called me out of the water, and this was in the heyday of the baby boom era, around 1967 or so. It was somewhere between 8th grade and my freshman year of high school. He calls me out, and he totally ridicules me and mocks me and tells me I'm wasting his time and I'll never get the swim merit badge. And he says, well, I'm failing you on the swimming merit badge. And the worst part is, we used to go from Lincoln Park to Boonton Township, and it was a gang of us, 6 or 7 in station wagons. So I had to sit on this rock, this big rock. I remember sitting on the big rock after this merit badge counselor mocked me and ridiculed me and chewed me out that I was wasting his time and I would never get the swimming merit badge. And then I had to sit on this rock in my bathing suit with my towel around me, freezing. It seemed like, ironically, it was when you were in the water and you were, swimming, you didn't feel the cold. So I had to wait for the end of the class because that was my only way home. to go back with all my buddies. So then I decide I was ready to give up. And my dad said, "Don't give up. Why give up just because one merit badge counselor wasn't very nice and was rude and all that?" But I found, I joined the Patterson because that was the only YMCA, closest YMCA that had a indoor swimming pool. So I joined the YMCA, the swimming classes. And I took these swimming classes for a year. And the young lady who was my swimming instructor, I remember her name. Isn't that funny? I remember her name. But her name was Lisa, and she was a sophomore or junior. Before it was William Patterson University, they called it Patterson State College. In Patterson, no, it was actually in Wayne. Isn't that ironic? Patterson State College was in Wayne, which was neighboring Patterson. So Patterson was is a big city in New Jersey. So she was very kind, very compassionate and understanding to young people that weren't the best swimmers. And she worked with me, and so after taking the class for a year, every Saturday morning, I asked her if she would consider signing up to be a swimming merit badge counselor. But Patterson's in Passaic County, Lincoln Park's in Morris County. So it was a big, hold on, just check things out here. So, YouTube friends, I'm back. Opie and Floyd got into a little squabble of sorts. So at any rate, Lisa was my swimming instructor at the Patterson YMCA every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. till high noon, 4 hours every Saturday morning. For a year, I took the swimming lessons. So I thought to myself, well, if Lisa signed up to be a swimming merit badge counselor, she would be very patient. I would do all the requirements, but she would work with me and not be hostile and angry and short-tempered with me for, needing the special help for the requirements. Well, long story short, Lisa finally agreed to be a merit badge counselor. But the Boy Scouts of America is a good thing. I believe it's a good thing, despite all, yes, there were some bad eggs in the Boy Scouts. But for the most part, it's a great opportunity for... he is so cute. That was Floyd. So, but in Boy Scouts of America, it gives a boy a chance to hike the Appalachian Trail. That's what I did. And go down the Delaware for a week in a canoe, go camping and hiking, and learn to cook for yourself, and learn first aid, and that kind of thing. So there is this. I know the Scouts have gotten a lot of bad press, and a lot of it rightfully so. But the thing about the media is that, it's all like as if Boy Scouts of America is this dark, evil thing in our society. And yeah, there were some bad eggs. But I'll tell you what, in organized religion, there's some bad eggs. There's some, believe me, there's some ministers and priests and religious leaders that are really bad eggs, and there's school teachers that are bad eggs. So let's, we can just, what do we do? Tear down society because there's some bad eggs? No, you work towards safeguarding, to be aware of the bad eggs. So anyway, let me, okay, and off the soapbox. So in Boy Scouts of America, I basically think scouting's a good thing overall. And but in their insanity, there's a thread of insanity that runs through Boy Scouts of America. Red tape kind of thing, legalistic junk. That because the Patterson YMCA was physically located in Passaic County, and I lived in Lincoln Park, which is Morris County, there was a problem. So it went back, and I earned the swim merit badge. And Lisa signed it. I mean, it took me a year, basically all of my freshman year of high school. I took the classes at the Patterson YMCA. And by like midway through or at the end of my sophomore year of high school, I got the swimming merit badge. Now at this point I had like 15 or 16 merit badges, but I still had to get swimming and life saving. And I did get physical fitness, which is a story unto itself, and I'll cover that sometime in the near future. But anyway, so I had a little blue signed paper, and there was the larger application which Lisa signed. So it went all the way up to the High Commissioner of the Morris Sussex Area Council, and they said, well, the spirit of the rule is so that boys stay within their county. And so they said, well, Lincoln Park is so close to Patterson, and that they, they approved it for my swimming merit badge. But it was a lot of red tape, so that took time. So then I was going for my life-saving merit badge, and Lisa agreed to sign up for the life-saving merit badge, but she wasn't too enthused because all this red tape, and she just thought that the scouting executives were totally insane because it was like this, because it was in Passaic County and I lived in Morris County, and she did not come through it with a warm and fuzzy feeling towards the scouting executives, the big wheels, the paid professionals. She thought they were totally nuts. So Lisa signs up for them. So it took me, long story short, I earned every Saturday, and actually it was Wednesday evening and Saturday morning for a year. Like some scouts, they would go to summer camp and get the life-saving merit badge in like two classes. Each class was like 2 hours long, and it took me a whole year. It took me a year to get the swing merit badge. It was 3 or 4 months dealing with the insanity of the scouting executives between the two counties, and then a year for the life-saving merit badge. So at that point, I had you need 21 merit badges then, but you had to get swimming and life-saving and personal fitness, no exceptions. So at that point, I had I figured, I'll get some extra merit badges for my Eagle Palms. An Eagle Palm is 5 merit badges more than the 21 for Eagle. So at that point, I had 23 merit badges, including my swim merit badge. So when I got my life-saving merit badge, I had 24. And I said, hey, I got 3 more for the Palms. But it was a whole nother red tape, and the insanity of the executive paid professionals of Boy Scouts of America, all their insane rules. So I wasn't able to get the Palm because I earned those 3 merit badges towards my Palm before I officially got my Eagle Scout dinner. But I made my Eagle Scout on December of 1970. I was a senior in high school, but I was determined to be Eagle Scout, and so it took me a year to get the swimming merit badge, a year for swimming classes. That was my freshman year. Then my sophomore year was a year, an entire. I forgot about it. It was Wednesday after school. From I don't know what it was from. It was like from 6 to 9, because I remember I had to eat supper early. I think it was 6 to 9 or 6:30 to 9, something like that, on Wednesday, and then on Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, an entire year. I mean, a year. I don't mean like 3/4 of a year, a full-blown year. And then it took me a year. Then my junior year, my entire junior year is the same thing. Wednesday after school, and then after supper, and then Saturday for 4 hours to get the life-saving merit badge. And I was going to the less than, I'm being a gentleman here, the less than kind merit badge counselor, who was my first swim merit badge counselor. I wanted to go back and show him my swim merit badge and throw it in his face. But my father said, no, take the high road. Don't just take the high road. So I did. But, I think about it like, this nutcase that my first swim merit badge counselor, this nutcase, this mean-spirited man who, scouting should be about encouraging boys to do their best. And this nutcase was discouraging, ridiculing, mocking, making a 13-year-old boy feel, inadequate. That's abuse. That's another level of abuse. But overall, I think scouting is a good program, because I would have never hiked the Appalachian Trail. Not that I hiked the entire length of it, but we used to go for a week. We used to start upstate New York, and all the way up in upstate New York, and then end up in I think central Pennsylvania, almost where what's it go down to? I think Maryland or West Virginia. I think it goes through Maryland, and anyway, just about where John Brown had his skirmish. Harper's Ferry. We used to go for 1 week. I don't know if we made it to Harper's Ferry every time, but I think I hiked the Appalachian Trail for an entire week for 3 different years. But I wouldn't have been able to do that. I went down the Delaware, week-long trails, week-long adventures down the Delaware. about 4 times. So those fun events I would never have done, you know. But if you're facing a mountain, if you're facing a wall, if you're facing a seemingly insurmountable roadblock, don't give up. You know, climb over the mountain, dig a tunnel, bypass the mountain. You know, just have grit, determination, be a bulldog. Put your heels in the sand. I mean, just put the plow to your shoulders, and put your shoulder to the plow, and do your best, and just do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. And don't let anyone bully you and tell you you're inadequate, be it a school teacher or a boss or anyone, you know, a religious leader. You know, religious leaders are fallible human beings. They're not infallible. And a lot of people, you know, put religious leaders on pedestals. They're human beings. So don't let anyone bully you ever, 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 ever. Don't accept anyone telling you can't do something. Don't ever allow people, you know, people might ridicule you and mock you. And you don't have to fight them. You don't have to argue with them, you know, but you can find a way. Your dreams, your goals are important to you, and never give up. Never give up. Never, ever give up. I just get on a little bit on my soapbox there. So I'm going to sign off. So stay positive, stay happy, and do your best to stay healthy. This is Richard Mabey, signing off.